Rachel Ray. She's part of our board at PVATN. She's our rescue coordinator, and she's going to be saying some words too.
Hello, fellow crazy dog people.
And cat people too.
I feel like you're all my best friends, and I know some of you only from Facebook, but obviously we have a lot in common. I want to start off by saying that Mr. Ingram said if these people were really concerned about these animals, they would have been here yesterday.
Oh.
Well, here we are. All, however many there are here right now, we're here now. I don't know what it takes to become a city manager in Lewisburg, but I would assume that simple math is one of the requirements. And as a manager of a city, you should be able to do some sort of accounting. The point of this, to me, is whether you care about dogs or not, the city of Lewisburg paid $90 to euthanize these dogs when they could have had $623 worth of revenue instead. And that was a direct stab at the animal rescue community. And we're not going to stop. We'll always be around, we always have been. I've pulled 2 dogs myself from the Lewisburg shelter. I had a good relationship with Willard. There's a lot of shelters that I maintain a good relationship with, not because I agree with what they do, but because that's what you have to do in order to save animals. Sometimes you got to kiss a little butt. Sometimes you've got to try to find loopholes, but you have to do what you do. And maintaining a good relationship with local shelters is so important. This protest is also so important because hopefully now we'll be able to speak at the city council meeting about the shelter, and hopefully now Mr. Ingram will listen to us.
Yep.
And maybe meet with somebody. And actually stop and realize that we're not crazy, we're compassionate people, and anyone with that much lack of compassion is the crazy one, if you ask me.
Exactly.
I didn't plan on it being very long, and I want to end it with my favorite quote that's in my email, which goes like this. It's from a book called The Animal Savior. It's written by Jim Willis, and it says, I looked at the eyes of the caged animals in the shelter, the cast-offs of human society. I saw in their eyes love and hope, fear and dread, sadness and betrayal, and I was angry. And I said, God, this is terrible. Why don't you do anything? And for a moment, God was silent, and he said, I have done something. I created you. So keep it up. We're not going to stop. We're here forever. We're not going anywhere. That's right.
Thank all y'all again for coming. I want to meet all of you. I want to walk around and talk to everybody and figure out, what brought y'all here. Oh, no. It's the one other thing I wanted to bring up from her speech was one thing that we also need to hold accountable is Mayor Barbara Woods. Mayor Barbara Woods. Alluded to accusing the rescuer of purposely not showing up so the dogs would die so we could get on TV.
Oh my
God. What a lot of crap.
And so she is accountable for this too. I just wanted to go ahead and follow up on her.
Can you say that one more time?
She alluded to accuse the person who was coming to rescue the 9 dogs as purposely not showing up on time so
that
we
was
could
on
get on
a
TV.
TV interview or something? Was that on TV?
Yeah, it was on TV.
You're kidding me.
Where are those people today?
They're out of town all of a sudden.
Of course. They're not going to stand up and come and face us because they're
Remind y'all are all taxpayers and your voice speaks being a taxpayer.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I feel bad now because I almost forgot. This is Jessica. She's going to be speaking now.
County Animal Welfare League, and we are definitely no strangers to corrupt government and things happening to animals, and that's why we wanted to be here today to support you guys, because we know what you're going through. Paul Harvey, who's a big animal lover, he once said, does it ever occur to you why some of us can be so concerned with animals suffering, but the government is not? And why is the government not concerned? Because animals don't vote. But those who rescue and appreciate animals do vote, and that's why we are here today. The city of Lewisburg city manager ordered a horrible crime to be committed when he killed 13 dogs whose lives could have been spared through the rescue prepared to give them a chance. As citizens and taxpayers, your voice can be the means through which other dogs will be spared this suffering. Your presence here today sends a message to not only Lewisburg's leaders, but those in other small towns as well, that the public will not tolerate this behavior. As I was preparing this speech, I kept thinking about various dogs we rescued and the difference that they had made in the lives of their adopters. And while they provide joy and love and affection to our families, sometimes they give us even more. Several months ago, we adopted out a bulldog. He was just a big, goofy dog, and little did I know, he detects seizures. His owner, who has a seizure disorder, has been kept safe so many times, and we had no clue that he could mean this to this man. We have a little girl who recently lost her father. She was very withdrawn, wouldn't talk to anyone, was failing at school, and she adopted a dog, and now she's coming out of her shell, and she's normal again.
Yeah.
And what they could have meant to someone.
Yep.
What they could have helped and done in someone's life, instead of being used as a pawn in a political game of control. Unfair and illegal actions against animals by government officials can be seen throughout our nation, particularly here in the rural South. I think that this protest can be a beginning of change for our area.
Yeah.
Not only can we take a stand for the 13 dogs killed here in Lewisburg, but it's a day that we can gather, we can meet each other, and we can all help each other through what we're going through in our own community. In closing, I wanted to read a poem. It was written and dedicated to animal rescuers, and it's one of my favorite poems. It's called The Reason. I would have died that day if not for you. I would have given up on life if not for your kind eyes. I would have used my teeth and fear if not for your gentle hand. I would have left this life believing that all humans don't care, believing there is no such thing as fur that isn't matted, skin that isn't flea bitten, good food and enough of it, beds to sleep on, someone to love me, to show me I deserve love just because I exist. Your kind eyes, your loving smile, your gentle hand, your heart saved me. You saved me from the terror of the pound, soothing away the memories of my old life. You've taught me what it meant to be loved. I've seen you do the same for other dogs like me. I've heard you ask yourself in times of despair why you do it. When there's no more money, no more room, no more home, you open your heart a little bigger, stretch the money a little tighter, make just a little more room to save one more. I tell you with the gratitude and love that shines in my eyes, in the best way I know how, reminding you why you go on trying. I am the reason. The dogs before me are the reason, as are the ones who come after. Our lives would have been wasted, our love never given. We would have died if not for you.
Okay, after I almost forgot somebody, I'm sorry. Y'all seen these up here? These are the 13 empty collars that represent the loss. And we're going to be donating those to Lewisburg Animal Control. That pretty much sums up the speakers at this point. If anybody else would want to say anything or just voice how you feel about it, feel free to. I'm going to be here pretty much all day, and I hope that we can definitely make an impact on this community because this city needs change. It needs.
I have a question.
I don't need to stand up, but there's also a quote in the Bible that says, "What you do to the least of mine, you do to me." So if they do this to the animals, what's going to be next? Are they going to have too many people in the jail, and they're going to euthanize them too?
For coming out, Jessica, Rachel, and Jackie Moss, and Terry, and everybody for coming out. We can't do this alone. We need to have a big voice. We're united in our voice, and it takes a lot of people to make some change, and we're here to do that now.
How many signatures were there on the petition?
As of this morning, before I left, we had over 6,500 signatures on the petition.
Yeah.
I've seen
sharing on Facebook.
Yep.
I just keep sharing.
I've seen people comment from Switzerland. There was somebody in Japan who signed. We're getting everyone out there to see what we want changed.
So what's our next step as a
Our
group?
next step, we're waiting. What we want is answers for right now, so we're going to keep hounding them for answers. Hopefully this lights a fire into their butt and they answer what they did. And from there, we're going to work with them and try and get this issue stopped, because this needs killing every week is ridiculous, especially when they have sponsors and commitments to come get the dogs.
And they've refused to let us speak, to let the volunteers for the shelters speak at the city council meeting. And I think that needs to be a next attainable goal within the next couple of weeks, is for the Lewisburg Animal Shelter to be a topic, and for the volunteers of the shelter to be able to speak at the city council meeting. That's an attainable goal.
How do we know that now that all of this attention is being brought to it, that they're not going to, on the slide, do more of having more put down there just because there's so much attention to it?
They're under the microscope now. We're not going anywhere. It's not we'll be back. We're here.
We're not going to let them do that.
They're under the microscope now, and we're hoping that they start making an effort, just so they don't look bad anymore, and they start doing something that we can work with them.
Aren't they blocking emails from their own town members?
Yes, I've included them on any email that I've sent out, any press release, anything that we've sent out in regards to this protest and the petition. I've sent it to the mayor, all the city council members, and the city manager. And about after the second email, they've started blocking all the emails, because I get kickbacks saying this recipient can't take your email anymore.
How do we call for the firing of Tommy Ingram? What do we do?
He was hired by the city council, so he can be fired by the city council
calling
as well.
and emailing and doing everything he can to tell city council he needs to go.
Are there any city council members here today?
Sorry.
Are there any city council members here today?
No. And the city manager and the mayor was.
When I called mine, he said he didn't know anything about it.
Well,
That's hard to believe.
I'll be calling him out.
Tommy Ingram is part of the city council and has been interviewed recognizing the protest, so they. Well, he's city manager. Well, he's city manager. The city council hired him, and that's what he's in there.
Right, okay, I thought.
But they know about it, because if he's going on record on the news saying he knows about it, they're just trying to get on TV with a protest.
He tried bargaining and saying that if we would stop the protest, then he would let us speak at the city council meeting.
Forget that.
How about vote?
But as taxpayers, you have a right to speak at any.
Right.
And vote.
Right.
Anybody could speak. Well, as long as you belong here, you're a taxpayer, you can get up there and speak.
Right.
Last year, I spoke to the petition here over the BSL law, which I think.
The thing that gets me about that media comment from the mayor, if they acted like they had a heart, there wouldn't be a need for the media to be out here.
That's right.
Okay, Jackie doesn't have the sheet right in front of her, but we're going to post it. We're going to put it on the TVA website.
Is there one main place where they post all the information for the public? Like if I wasn't on Facebook, is there, and I don't.
Probably the city